Hi, this is Brenda. This is a very impromptu video. It's not scripted. I'm going to get tongue-tied and I apologize for that. But the reason you're getting it is because you're my friend. I have probably known you for a long time, or maybe not long enough, but you're someone who I think would be willing to buy me a cup of coffee. Okay. Didn't plan exactly what I was going to say, so forgive me for getting tongue-tied. I have started a GoFundMe page. The GoFundMe is very much for me, but the campaign is for someone else. She's a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Patty Kapner. She lives in Columbus, Ohio. We went to high school together. She still lives in the same house as she grew up in. She lives in the same house across the street from my old home in Columbus. I have a website that tells a little bit of Patty's story. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. But I'm asking you to buy me a cup of coffee today because I think we're good enough friends that you'd be willing to buy me at least a cup of coffee. See, GoFundMe is not a nonprofit organization. They do wonderful things for people, but they make money when they're doing it, as they should. There's nothing wrong with that. They're going to charge about a 30-cent transaction fee and a very small percentage of what you donate when you donate to GoFundMe. Now, the thing is, when you sign into this page, this GoFundMe.com, I'm not asking you to do this, but I'm telling you, when you do it, you'll see all kinds of heartbreaking stories, people asking for help. And you're going to see that first campaign that you see has just raised $120,000. And you're going to see the next campaign has raised $75,000. And the next has raised $62,000. You don't see the ones who've only raised maybe $20 or $50 or $100 or $150. That's because there's an algorithm. That's because that algorithm is going to bring those campaigns that are making money up to the very top because it also advertises GoFundMe. It all makes sense. Everything goes hand in hand. I'm going to tell you very quickly that Patty's story is that she got sick back in the fall. And she was misdiagnosed twice. And like I said, if you wanted to read her whole story, it's a very short read on the webpage that I've set up for her. And I'll send you a link to that. She was misdiagnosed long enough that the months have gone by, and just about 3 weeks ago, she was diagnosed with colon cancer that had metastasized into 2 other parts of her body. Cancer doesn't wait. It just doesn't wait. And she's lost family members to cancer. She lives alone. She takes care of herself, and she takes very, very good care of her property. She jumps on that riding lawnmower. She helps out her disabled neighbor with her newspaper and groceries. She'll give you a ride if you need it. She's that wonderful, sweet old lady in the neighborhood that most people don't even know her name. And now she really, really, really needs help. She is literally, and I mean literally, writhing in pain. She's nauseous. She can't keep food down. This has been going on for way too long. She went to the emergency room eventually after being misdiagnosed by 3 different doctors, and they admitted her. That's how she found out about the cancer. She was discharged. She was given the paperwork to see a doctor. She saw the doctor. They set up chemo. She asked that the doctor's office make certain that her insurance company was going to cover it because she does not have money. No one has enough money. Well, a few people, maybe 1% of the people in this country have enough money to just write a check to pay for their cancer treatments. So she got a call from the doctor's office saying, "You're good to go, no problem. You're with United Healthcare." And they said they would pay 100% of all of your chemo treatments. And she called me with tears of joy. She cried so hard with relief that she was going to be able to not worry about her home. Her childhood home, the roof over her head, her castle, her refuge. She wasn't going to have to worry about it any longer. 2 days before that chemo appointment came up, she got a call from the doctor's office saying, oops, we made a mistake. So sorry. I'm sure they apologized profusely, but that was a big punch in the gut, because how could you make a mistake like that? And then to add insult to injuries, they said, you still got the chemo appointment. We still expect to see you for chemo, but bring in several $100s. You have to pay that several $100s before each time you get chemo. And she needs a lot. Her cancer is treatable, but she's literally dying right now. She's dying and writhing in pain because the system failed her. She hasn't stopped. She's making her phone calls. She's looking for grants. She finally agreed to allow me to set up a GoFundMe page for her. That's how desperate she is. And believe me, this is not someone who would have agreed to it just even a few months ago. I am asking you to please go to the GoFundMe page and buy me a cup of coffee. You, as my friend, who I know would buy me that cup of coffee. Under different conditions, I'm asking you to please go to the GoFundMe page. I'm going to link it for you and give Patty that money. And the most important thing you have to remember is not about how much. It doesn't matter if it's $1. It doesn't matter if it's $5 or $10. It matters that you keep donating to the GoFundMe page, because that's what raises the algorithm. That's what tickles, told you I get tongue-tied. That's what tickles the algorithm to say, okay, this campaign is active, it's very active. So because of that, we're going to bring it into the foreground so people can find it, because that campaign is going to make money for us. If I only get $300, $400, $500 for Patty, it's not going to generate enough income for GoFundMe to advertise for us. That's why I'm asking you, please, as my friend, to go to the GoFundMe page that I'm going to link you and give money to me, to my campaign, to help my friend Patty. And if you have a moment, stop and take a look at her picture on the website and maybe read her story. And, oh my gosh, if you're on social media, like I'm not, if you have friends on social media, please, if you could post something for me, I'd appreciate it, because that's what, today, on May 26th, 2026, that's something that could keep people alive for so much longer. My friend deserves that, because the system fails her. Thank you.